So I have to laugh, darling. Just, laughing at oneself is so important because right now, laughter is what's getting me through these troubled times. So without further ado, it is over to you. Imagine if I asked you to teach the class now. Henry has he's heard 1,000 classes of mine this year. I'm surprised he hasn't become a Pilates instructor himself. It gets to a point where I finish a class and he's like, that was a good one, sweetheart. And I'm like, the guy never did one Pilates class in his life, but he knows now which is a good class, which one felt extra long. It's hilarious. So here we are in our working environment establishment, like literally 2 meters away from each other because that's how small our box home is. But the gratitude of having a home to come home to be in is extreme. So I like having a little chat, and especially when the moment brings itself forth to chat and just feel the love and share the love through the screen. So here we go. I'm feeling that I should take my socks off right now. They're our fancy sticky toe Pilates socks. But I think for now we can be barefoot. So now that I've got that out of my system, we are ready to focus on some mindful inhaling and exhaling to center our bodies. So first things first, we're going to focus on quick postural alignment. It's always good to have these quick check tools in our little suitcase of movement mojo, so that at any point during the day where you're feeling tense or you're feeling uncomfortable, that you can just whip out your box of tools for movement mojo assists and think back to hearing my voice as we realign the body or release it in some way. You know what I'm saying? So let's begin standing, and here at your ear jaw junction, there's like a special little groove for your finger to assist as you feel your head being suspended from a long, strong, buoyant TheraBand that is hanging from the sky. And your head over here is suspended, and the rest of your body is just hanging with a sense of free feeling freedom. The back of our heads, the back of our rib cage, and the back of your pelvis. Those 3 points would be making contact into your wall if you were standing against a wall. So if you happen to have a wall behind you, I'm not even going to try lean into these doors. Take a moment, stand against your wall, and notice what it feels like to have the back of your head, the back of your rib cage, and the back of your pelvis against your upright wall. And that is a beautiful, quick, elongated, axial elongation alignment for our body, so that the head, neck, and shoulders can be beautifully organized. So your neck and shoulders form like beautiful coat hangers. The rib cage is right above your pelvis. The rib cage is like a lampshade over your pelvis. Hip headlights shining forwards, and your legs and thigh bones directly underneath the hip bones in the front, not the side hips. So ladies, for you there at home, do not overjudge the size of your pelvis. We want the legs aligned with these front hip bones, and you will amaze yourself. They're like really narrow, okay? I promise. Don't feel the outsides. Just look here, directly in front with these hip bones, and then align the thigh bones, the knees and the toes accordingly. And then in this position, just give it a little jiggy. Because sometimes as we stand, you'll notice little bits of tension, little squeaks, to try and convince us we mustn't move coming into the party, but we must move. Standing tall, lift your toes, spread your toes, and place them down. So if you were to look at my hands and look at what my fingers are doing, up, open, down. That's the same thing that's happening at the feet and the toes, just in case sometimes the Zoom playback high definition is non-existent. So you're going to lift your toes, spread them, place them down. Lift the toes, spread them, place them down. Lift the toes, spread them, place them down. Lift the toes, spread them, place them down. And then you feel each little toe pad like a little suction into your mat and creating a big smiley face across your face. There's also a big smiley face across the front of your shoulders, as well as a big smiley face behind you. Lean forward, lean backwards, and just notice what is happening in the body as you lean forwards, as you lean backwards. Woo! Do your toes lift? Are you able to allow your whole body to lean forward? So it's as though a big giant hand is swaying you forward, swaying you backwards. So everything moves together, forwards and backwards, until you bring it back into the middle. And then we lean over right and left, or left and right, depending on what your view is through your screen. So let me just keep it simple and say one side and lean over to the other side. Woo! And lean over. Such cheap thrills here for me. Hey, we're keeping it simple, my friends. Cheap thrills is the way to go. This really feels a little whoop as we go side to side. Notice. And now let's put everything together as we stir a fancy sundowner cocktail beverage of your choice. I'm going to go big today and think I may have a sparkling mineral water with some berries. Woo! Go big or go home. So you choose that delicious sundowner beverage, and you feel you are that twizzle stick as we circle and then other way, other direction. The arms are lengthened. Your elbows are also long. So we're trying to really not incorporate any of the KFC chicken wing vibes or ET fingers. Lengthened long arms. And then bring it back to the middle. While we're here, rise up. Find the balance and lower. Now, because we've set up the bones so beautifully in their proper placement and organization, rising up is going to be no problem. Just say yes, correct. Positive affirmation, reinforcements, that's what we want. Rise up and lower. Rise up and lower and rise up and lower. Adding a little free flow for the body today. Take the arms back, take the arms forward. Take the arms back, take the arms forward. As we go back, we stretch. Round to bend. Back, forward. So we're creating just a little undulation in the body, a little wave. As you stretch and reach, so the legs stretch, as we bend gently through the knees, the body rounds forward. Breathe in, breathe out. And it's as though you're moving your body underneath water. So gentle, so soothing that you can feel the water massaging your body. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. One more, breathe in, breathe out. And this time circle the arms. So we're going to circle as though you're taking a top off one. Ta-da, summer vibes. Take top off two. And as you are moving through the sequence, you're crossing, you're changing which arm goes in front each time. Other arm takes a chance, take it off, and reach. Two more, take it off, and one more, take it off. Circling the arms and let the hands settle on the pelvis. Good. So right now, you're sending energy down through your thumbs. It's as though your thumbs are massaging the pelvis and sacrum down. So we keep that there and we go into foot peels. So you're going to peel, same leg, peel, and really feel the toe pads and the heel peeling. See whether you're able to hear the sound, and also keep movement to a minimum. So we don't want to do a whole side achy breaky hard vibe. Billy Ray Cyrus, is that what his name was? None of those vibes for now. Just peel, place, peel, place, peel, and a little faster and faster. And I want you to keep your pelvis where it is. So pelvis is not getting involved in the disco dancing at all. No disco dancing tonight. Upright piano pelvis vibes. 4, 3, 2, 1. Other foot, little peel. We start small. See whether you can hear your heel and the ball and the toes peeling. Pelvis stays quiet. Upright piano vibes. There's the upright piano. And then a little bigger, bigger. And again, pelvis stays exactly where it is in the leg. And foot, just lift, lower lift, and 4, and 3, and 2, and alternating wiggle, right, left. One side, other side. And see whether you can keep your pelvis upright. And notice by keeping your pelvis upright and your upper body lengthened and elongated in suspension from your sky, you'll notice an awakening in the lower abdominals that is quite profound. 2, 1, and stop. Little swing, swing in, swing out, swing in. As we're swinging again, I want you to be able to feel your pelvis sliding up and down your imaginary wall up. In, out, in, out, in, out, in. Take it all the way up. Place the hands, interlace the fingers behind your head. Still the same approach here. Back of the head, back of your ribs, back of your pelvis against your upright wall. Take an inhale. And out. All of the stale breath out. Breathe in. And out. Hello ears, Baba ears. Whoop, whoop. And we keep the shoulders relaxed away from those ears, with your shoulder blades behind you in their back pockets. Your elbows are in your peripheral vision. Keep growing taller and bend your knees just a little. So you have soft knees, but your body is super upright and lengthening tall. Breathing it in. As you breathe out, a little chest rotation, 1. Inhale, center, exhale, glide, 2. So here, just the rib cage is rotating. There is an upward corkscrew spiraling feeling right in the middle where your spine is spiraling in an upward, lengthening direction. Your pelvis, the hip headlights are still shining forwards. Hip headlights, spotlight vibes directly forwards. So just your upper body is rotating. You're still giving a hug with the back of your head into those hands, and shift, and shift, and shift. And now straighten your legs and continue. So right now you're feeling the backs of your thighs pressing away. You're feeling the legs long and your feet growing roots into your floor. And shift, and shift, and shift, and shift, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Bring it to the middle. Release. Give the arms a little bit of a shake. Sometimes just having everything in the right position feels new. And so we might feel little muscles saying hello that we haven't felt saying hello in a very long time, which is great. So we go back. Elbows in your peripheral vision, whoop, whoop, with the shoulders. Your sternum bone is drawing right through to the space behind your shoulder blades. And we're going to take a little C curve over to one side. So here, if you were standing between two panes of glass and your body was in the middle, you would still be feeling the back of your head, and the back of your ribs, and the back of your pelvis, making contact with your back wall or the back pane. And the other window pane would be right in front of you. So you're moving right between your panes of glass without anything else bumping or crashing. Breathe in over, exhale up. Inhale over, exhale. So just the top half of your body is moving. Thoracic work. Pelvis stays straight up, long legs, and we're just going over and over and over and over. 4 more. Over and 3 and 2 and 1. Bring it to the middle and swing. We're going to swing and bounce the knees. As we bounce, it's as though the knees and thighs are going over your toes. Pelvis stays upright. We add a little single knee lift. So we swing, 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 lift, swing, 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 and up. Swing, 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 and balance is also one of our Pilates principles. I think it's been so long since I did a recap of them. Swing, 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 up, swing, 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 up, swing, 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 up, swing, 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 up, and last swing. Just swing it out into a little figure of 8 with those arms. Hips still shine forwards, upper body is going, and again, so gentle, easy, breezy, and sometimes as we move, I like to encourage you to find a little rhythm or a tune or a piece of music that's stored in that beautiful brain memory system of ours. Yeah, and see whether you can match the song in your head to the movement. And 1, 2, 3, 4 more, and 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it to the middle. Give it a little dandy shake out. Superb. For now, we're going to head on down to the mat. So the only prop that you're going to be needing tonight is a hand towel. If you normally use a hand towel and you want to lie on a hand towel, or if you want to fold your hand towel to use as a mini bolster, or you can use one of these flattish cushions. Okay, no continental cushion vibes, no like too big vibes, just nice, easy, you know, something that you can use as a bolster for underneath your lower back or underneath the side of your hip and thigh for when we do side lying work. So you just need that. And if you don't have one of those cushions, the folded hand towel works just as well, I promise. So let's head on down to the mat with the best way, the easiest way, the most convenient way that you would normally come down onto your mat. So for me, I just take base knee down, and there we go. So it may be different for you, but whatever it is, come down onto your mat. Let me OCD my mat a little more in alignment with the screen. Okay. And then possibly even just scooch this down one more little notch. Okay, so that nice reminder to smile when you get close to the glow lamp is always good. Ooh, darlings, because there have been tears also of late. All right, so the most important thing is that we have each other to hold and support and carry and hold space for. And movement. Movement always makes us feel better. So here we go. Oh, look at that. A toothpick on the floor. How lovely. All right, so I'm just going to move this. I'm sure that slipped off Hendrik's plate last night. See what I'm talking? Working environment. Ever finding something on the floor that shouldn't be there during our mat class? Alrighty then, so let's head right on down. Take a moment. Oh, this feels so good. I'm sure that for most of you, this is the first time you've been able to lie down today on a lovely supportive surface, like a solid floor, which gives us energy and supports the bones from underneath. Hi, sweetheart.
Hi, dog.
All right, so here we are in our supine position. Shift the shoulders, make a little bit of space. In fact, let's do some shoulder hugs and release. So just take your arms, cross them over, try and take hold of your shoulder blades underneath your body. Try and make a little more space between the shoulder blades and allow your body to rock. So right now, let's allow the pelvis and the shoulders and ribs to rock. And then I want you to keep your pelvis still and just let the shoulders and ribs go. Bring it back to the center. Open the arms. Open to receive love and light. Close the arms to keep it in for a little while. Take hold behind the shoulder blades and gently rock. Easy does it. So if for this side you want to let the pelvis go with you, do a few letting your pelvis rock and roll with you. And then keep your pelvis quiet and allow the upper body to rock. Side, side, getting a little more space. This is all about creating space. More space equals freedom of movement for the body and bones. Heading on down, give a little bit of press with the hands away from you into your thighs. And I want you to feel what happens in the lower part of your back and sacrum. It's like a self-assisted traction. Instantaneous pressure release. And one more. Press hands into thighs. And you'll feel something of a lightness here in the lower part of the lumbosacral area. 2 more times. Press. And release. And one more press. And release. Good. So our heels are quite close into the sits bones. Our thighs yet again are in alignment with the front of the hips. Spread your toes. And the arms, it's as though the upper arm and the lower arm bones have stretched and are lengthened long. Here in this position, you're welcome to pop a cushion under your head. So I would advise that if you feel as though your chin is pointing behind you, really just place a cushion of support underneath your head to lift it a little bit, and it'll feel so much better. So test it for yourself. If you're not sure, if you need a cushion, put a cushion or a bolster or a folded towel under your head. If it feels better and more comfortable, that's a tick. If it feels really weird and not so cool, don't use it. Okay, this is all about you and what's best for you. So lengthen. And as I say that, I should probably be using a bolster cushion under my head myself, but I don't want to get up now. So we continue breathing in and out. And as you inhale and exhale, just notice the rising and the lowering of your rib cage and the rising and the lowering of your belly. So many of us want to hold everything in so tightly, and that is just, it reverses the effect of what we want to happen in the body. We need to allow the belly to rise so that we know the difference between when it's open and expanded and then when it's sinking down and saying hello a little bit more. So focus again for the next 2 inhale and exhales. And again. So for many of us, the posterior breathing into these ribs underneath us and behind us is really difficult and underutilized. So for the next 2 inhale and exhales, I really want you to focus on breathing into your mat under your body. And it takes a couple of practice breaths to feel those ribs inhaling into your mat underneath you. And then exhale, allowing the sternum burn like sands through the hourglass. And these are the days of our lives. Remember that. Let your sternum nestle and melt down. But let's continue. Easy does it. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, tilt your pelvis towards you and away. Tilt pelvis towards and away. So it's a little difficult to see this. It's a really micro movement, tilting towards and away, towards and away. So I'm just going to add my hands here for a visual cue. You're tilting the pelvis towards you and away. And as you're tilting the pelvis towards and away, you are noticing how your head is shifting, how this movement is translating all the way up the middle of your body, all the way up through the neck, and all the way up through the back of the head. So we're creating, if we went a little faster and start tapping the toes as well. And so we're creating this entire vertical oscillation in the body. How cool is that? It's like this gelatinous gelée feeling in the body, eh? And tap 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And so that oscillation, vertical oscillation, is just a really beautiful way again to encourage alignment of the spine and backbones. All right. We take it a little further as we roll the pelvis. So right now your tailbone is curled under, sacrum is lifted up, and you're only going to roll up halfway. So here I want you to feel your bottom ribs really beautifully weighted into your mat. And these top ribs, they're like gone underneath. They've gone into hiding underneath the heart. Roll down through this space between the waistband of your pants and your back. Right now, the sacrum is still up, so no rushing. And then release and lengthen your tailbone out long. Bravo, we go again. A little pelvis roll, just tilt, and then we peel halfway up. We're hanging out in these bottom ribs. They're having a lovely party here in the mat, while these front ribs are hiding under the heart. And then exhale gently as you smoothly release it out. Let's do one more. So it's a small, quiet wave that comes rolling the pelvis under and halfway up with the ribs. And then a gentle, quiet wave rolling all the way down and out. Let's go for gold as that wave comes right underneath and floats the pelvis up to the ceiling. Sacrum is up. So where your pubic bone is here in the front, your sacrum is right underneath that. And I want you to think about your sacrum triangle. From the underneath side is sending energy and pressing up through the space between your 2 hip bones. Take a breath in. Exhale, sternum melts down first. Then the bottom ribs massage into your mat. You still are rolling the pelvis and the sacrum up and under, and then it rolls on out. Let's go again. So we go one more slow motion, and then we add a little bit of motion of the ocean, curling it up slow. Taking it up to the top. Collarbones here, check in. So head is gentle, easy. Collarbone sliding, big smiley face across your shoulders from right to left. Sacrum sending energy up. Long, beautiful thighs. Parallel. Breathe in. Exhaling, sternum lowers down to the space between your shoulder blades, down on the mat. Then, easy, smooth massage through these bottom underneath ribs first. Keep curling sacrum and tailbone and pelvis under, and then it releases and your tailbone rolls out. But adding some motion of the ocean vibes now, so we take it up a little more pacey in rhythm. Breathing in, breathe it out. Roll up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale and exhale. Roll down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, rolling up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's really easy going. Low tide, and exhale, sternum down, back of the ribs, waistband of pants, and trickle it all the way back up. 1 more, rolling it all the way up. 2, 3, 4, hold, breathe it in, and exhale, smoothly roll all the way down. So while we're here having some beach and wave vibes, we're going to go up again. Roll, 2, 3, 4, up. Sacrum up, sternum low. We have little spades, and we're going to scoop, sand, and lift to one side. Then the other spade scoops down and lift. Then the spade scoops down and lift. And the left, scoop the sand, bring it back up. Scoop the sand, bring it up. Lower your sternum a notch. Scoop the sand, bring it up. Scoop the sand, bring it up. Lower the sternum and ribs a notch. Scoop the sand and scoop the sand. And looky, whoa, whoa. What shape have we created? A beautiful infinity symbol or sideline figure of 8 as we wish and swish and gently lower all the way back down. Beautiful. Bring those knees into the chest. Whew. So that was a hello for the backs of the legs, hamstrings, back line of the body, supporting and strengthening. All right, so while we're just here having a little discussion, and we have the time to be each other for such chats this evening, I wanted to quickly chat about this concept of core stability, core control, core muscles. So a lot of us have had so many people telling us, so many different people. Okay, I'm going to just quickly rock up for this because this is quite important. So many of those gurus and medical specialists out there, and bless them, we love them, and we really do need them, you know, to facilitate health and wellness for us. But guys, some of them are in denial about what is the core. What does the core consist of? What is core? All right, so let me share with you from everything that I've learned is that the simplest way for me to visualize and to share with you about core. If you think of an apple and the apple core, okay, where is that core? Where does it go from? It goes from the top of that apple stalk all the way around through the middle, right down to the bottom. There in that center line is the core. All right, so it's the same, I feel, in the bodies. So the core in our bodies is right along the center line, and there is so much. If we just do this, there is so much along our center core line. It involves neck, front, back. It involves these parts of the torso muscles, front. It involves right here, these deep muscles, the deep lying muscles of the spine, and these muscles lying along this medial line of the body right in the middle. So when we think about Pilates, strengthening core, it is really a full body experience, a full body application. It's like an app, you know. We're gonna fine tune our app, our core app for the body. So I just wanted to share that with you because everyone thinks core is about the stomach, and it's not. Okay, that is like really one end of the one part of that little operating system for our app. So I just wanted to share that with you. And now we're going to continue because I really felt the need to express that core love, the deep core stabilizing love with you today. All right, so we're going to go back. We're going to go back to here with our legs and feet parallel. And interlace your fingers. And really interlace them properly. So it's as though you are unable to separate your fingers. Reach them and place them under your head. And literally allow your hands to lengthen your head up your mat. And did you feel anything? All right, so we go again. Interlace the fingers, place them under your head. So in essence, you're creating a beautiful hammock-like structure for your head. So lengthen your head up your mat. Allow the back of your ribs to settle. Bring your elbows in your peripheral vision. Good. And as you've lengthened your head up your mat, you'll actually feel it goes, that little bit of length travels all the way down to your sacrum. It's beautiful. It's magical. And as we exhale, we're going to curl. You peel head, shoulders, and up we come. Reach the arms and take hold of your thighs because now, my friends, your arms are holding you up. Okay? Your arms are holding you up. I want you to feel as though you've opened up the sails between your shoulder blades. And the arms are holding you here in this chest lift. And now we're going to improve. So we're going to curl a little higher. Intensify it a little more as we really get these ribs here in the front. Feel where they are. And get those to go under your heart a little more. Now keep this height. Arms go up. Hands go back behind your head. And then you release the shoulders and your head down. So sorry for that grinding sound. It's the coffee machine saying good night. Guys, it's my most prized possession. One day when there's a fire, what are you going to take? Henry the cat and the coffee machine? No, there won't be a fire, but I'm just saying, they always ask you, what would you take? Okay. All right, so we continue. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, the sternum goes down. You curl. So if you were wearing a hoodie, you would still feel the back of your head pressing into your hoodie. Reach. Curl. Pelvis is level. You're weighted those bottom ribs into your mat. The top ribs are rolled under. Arms, hands, and you gently weight your head into your hands as you release it down. So we're going to do one more in slow motion. And that is a Pilates chest lift. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Curl. 2, 3. Arms. 2, 3. Improve. 2, 3. Hold. Hello, head. Easy can swivel. Keep the height. Arms, hands, and release. 2, 3. Perfect. So now that we've set the base movement pattern in our brains, and we've had the feeling, and we've taken some snapshots and screenshots of those positions, we're going to add a little rhythm and pace. So we go together. Breathe in, 2, 3, curl, 2, 3, arc arms, round a little more, arms up, hands behind your head, release, 2, 3, hold. Breathe in, 2, 3, curl, 2, 3, arc arms, curl, arms up, hands behind your head, release, dunky, dunky, dunk, here we go, curl, and arms, and lift, and hands, and dunk, 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 breathe in, 2 more times, curl, 2, 3, arms, a little higher, arms, hands, release, 1 more, curl, and arms, and lift, a little higher, arms, hold it here, little surprise vibe, rotate, and rotate. We want to keep the elbows wide and we want to aim that elbow towards your knee. Elbow to knee, not elbow smacking face. And change. Woo! I can feel there have been classes today in my body. And change. Bringing the ribs around. Bringing the ribs around. I don't have enough hands to demo as well. And ribs around. And ribs around, and around, and 1 more, and release. Woo! Welcome to Pilates Chest Lifts 101. Good, so just let it open. Stretch your legs if necessary. Stretch your arms above your head. Let the spine lift. Guys, there's no safer place for your body and spine to be than on the floor. I promise you. So let it do what it needs to do. Reach, stretch, get that deep yawny feeling across the front of the body. Ooh, shift. Jiggy the bones back down. All right, and so we are going to continue. If you have any lower back pathology and you are used to working with a little bolster under your pelvis, because you know we're working towards goals. So if right now you work with a bolster under your hips and pelvis, do so. Lift the legs, place the hands under your thighs. So in this position, give it a little rock and roll, insert your little bolster, press the backs of your thighs into your fingers. And first things first, we want to find the equality underneath our bodies. So rock right, rock left, rock right, rock left, and then bring it in the middle. So we're dead centered. The backs of the thighs are pressing into the fingers. Okay, now keep the thighs exactly where they are. And just let the fingers go. Bring your knees together, arms up. Let's take the legs over to the right, keeping knees and ankles glued and center. So there's really nothing to this, as your legs are light as feathers in space. The ribs are the drivers here. Breathe in, ribs open. Breathe out, ribs drive down and close. Breathe in, ribs open, and breathe out, ribs drive down. So let's take arm over and center and over. So the opposite arm is opening. Legs go over one way, arm opens another. Center. Breathe in. Breathe out. And really let the ha sound come out of your mouth. It's lovely. Inhale. And exhale. And one more inhale. And exhale. Ta-da! Hands under your thighs. So they're exactly where they were when we had them holding and assisting there. Separate your thighs. Assisted roll-ups. Good. Take a breath in. So first rock right and left. Make sure we're still centered. Cool. Check, check. Breathe in. As you breathe out, your upper body, head, neck, and shoulders curl towards your thighs. And then you continue sending your legs away from you, pressing the backs of your thighs into your fingers. And then you use that as leverage to come up. Ta-da! We go again. Breathe it in. And just peel the toes. Roll your pelvis away from your thighs. Keep pressing the backs of your thighs into your fingers. And then we relax. Head rolls right. Head rolls left. And you want to keep the equality. And you want to keep equal love with those shoulder blades into your mat. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Bring the head center. Breathe it in. Exhale, curl. Head and shoulders peel. Peel the bottom ribs. Let them hang out in the mat a little bit longer and then peel them. And bring the body and roll your pelvis up. Roll the pelvis away. Float. Roll. Get the bottom ribs down first. You'll feel your arms and elbows lengthening as you release your head down. Collarbones wide, smiley face, shoulder to shoulder. And go left, roll head right, roll head left, roll head right. Bring it to the middle, inhale, exhale, curl, peel, press backs of thighs into fingers, and gently, and we just, voila, reach the arms, and circle. Beautiful. So we go into one of my most favorites. So if you're following my Feel Fab in 5 series on social media, I've just started posting some of those episodes, and every exercise is one of my most favorites, my most favorite series, because they're all so divine. I love them. Most of them I love. There are a number a few which are. The only the ones that I don't like are the ones that are super challenging for me, you know? I'm human. All right, so here's where we are. This Z-sit position is a prep for our mermaid. So there are options here. Maybe this is not so grand for your knee, or maybe you cannot even get into this position and feel comfortable on your mat. So use your cushions. So if I wanted to bolster myself up, look, a yoga block and a bigger bolster or a moon box is actually also, no, that's a little too high. But if we were to bolster ourselves up, okay, like already it's feels a million times better. So you choose. It's either going to be double cushions, double towels, or a little yoga block, or whatever it is to get up. And then you move your legs and feet until it feels comfortable for you. Okay, so we don't have to be on the floor with both sits bones down right from the word dot. And for me, like, I do not have the perfect Pilates body. I don't even have the perfect ex-dancer's body, for those of you that know that I danced previously. Like, the more I am learning about my body and the more I'm learning through Pilates and movement wellness, and the more I learn, the less I feel I know, because I realize how dysfunctional some of the settings are in my own body. So for example, this used to be really difficult for me, and my hips feel all squiffy on the one side. So we're all of us are works in progress, my friends, all of us. And we just aim for a little bit more progress, a little bit each time, feeling a little better. And slowly and surely, a little by little, a little becomes a lot. So in this position, I want you to choose cushion, block, whatever, bolster to feel better, to feel more space, less like a grasshopper with your knees by your ears. And then we call this the Z sit. And our goal is to be able to sit nice and evenly on our sits bones with this part here upright, as well as that part here directly behind me, also to be straight up. That's our aim, to create that balance and that availability. So we're going to just ease into it, because sometimes as we rock and roll and we ease through a particular movement fascia flow, the body releases, and it just gives that little bit more for us to experience an easier series or exercise. So we're just going to roll forward and back and forward and back and forward and back and forward and back. And you'll notice that already that feels a little easier. It's the millimeters. It's not vast inches of difference yet. It's millimeters. And those millimeters, that's where the magic happens. The millimeters of change, and those little millimeters make massive change throughout the movement chains in the body. Just say yes. Cool. So from there, we're going to go over a little bending that supporting arm. So as we go over, we're going to go to that side again. Back of the head, back of the rib cage, back of the pelvis are against your imaginary wall. Your shoulder has rolled behind you. The shoulder blade is in your back pocket. You're pressing away. So let's just actually do straight arm first. So these bottom ribs are rolling under. We're creating a beautiful an arc going that way. And then bring it up. And we go again. And bring it up. So roll the shoulder behind you. Keep it there and over. It's as simple as that. Then we add the little elbow bend and bring it up. And elbow bend and bring it up. Elbow bend. Hold it there, breathe. Lengthened arm. These ribs are open like a fan. Or a spring. You know those slinky springs we had in the 80s and 90s? Those slinky springs that went down the stairs. So top half of the spring is over, going over that way. Bottom half of the spring is going that way. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's go to the other side. Same, just different side. Lengthen, bring it up. Over we go. Bring it up. Over we go. Bring it up. Over we go. Little bend. And now we put it together. And here's our mermaid. And literally feel as though you are that mermaid or merman, gently moving with ease and grace. Effortless movement, we're putting in as little as possible and as much as necessary for this particular movement. So it's not hectic. Easy flow, easy go. Bring it back up. Good. And then look more, no hands. Take it round to the other side. That's always a work in progress for me too, so don't feel bad. We reset up our Z-sit on this side. And again, you may notice that one side feels completely different from the other side. And that's okay. We work together, slowly, class by class, setting up some more balanced equality, one session at a time. Equality for the body. Equal, balanced. So we go. Rock. Again, you're still seated on your cushions if necessary. Gently rock. You're in charge of your legs and knees. So you decide, do you want to pull them in closer? Do you need to put some support underneath the knees? So in giving you these options and sharing and letting you know that you are in control, you're also taking responsibility for your own body. And if we can take responsibility for our own bodies, guys, then we're halfway there. Gently rock. So here again, we're doing the moving fascia flow, encouraging the tissues to release, to give a little bit so we feel less like grasshoppers and more like mermaids. Bring it back to the middle, arms out, and over we go. So first straight arm, and it's the ribs. If you can take these special virtual glasses, and goggles and see into the body, our ribs are creating that arc shape. C shape under and an elongated arc at the top. So coming back, remember this supporting arm shoulder has rolled behind you. We go straight and bring it up. And over and bring it up. And over and bring it up. And over. Now bend and melt through that elbow. Because everything is set up beautifully. We already have the shoulder in its back groove. Then let's just take a moment to breathe here. It's as though a little wave has come over us. Up, down. And see whether there's anything that you can let go of. So for me, I'm feeling some tension around here, and I'm just allowing it to sink and melt a little deeper. And then we go over. And over. And see. And over. And just as though we were observing the possibilities of that internal spring, some of the springs going down, some of the springs going that way, and some of the spring is going over. Just so that we're mindful of that. Let's do two more. And one. And bring center. But bring the body around. Give those legs a little stretch. I know we've gone a little over time, but I just want to do one more super important series for today. And let's just do a simple on the beach back extension series. So lie down again. If you want to use a bolster of support underneath the hips, please put in a little cushion. I want you to feel the stretchiest underbelly. You have stretched yourself lengthwise along your mat. Weight the pubic bone down. Nestle your sacrum down towards your heels, down and forwards through your pubic bone in the mat. Legs in line with your sit bones. Long lengthened legs. And then bring your arms just here. And see whether you can stretch a little more. Make more space under the belly. And float your forehead down. Hello ears, Baba ears. Feel the weight of the elbows down. Take a breath in, forehead floats. As you breathe out, you're going to sink your sternum down first. And then you're going to peel and feel as though you're licking your sternum up the wall. So when you come up to this beautiful thoracic extension position, your bottom ribs are in contact with your mat. Hey, your pubic bone is sending energy down a little. And then drape the bottom part of the sternum, then the middle part of the sternum, and then the top part of the sternum. And see if you can nestle and squeegee down into your mat a little more. Forehead. Breathe in. Breathe out. First sink down into your mat a little more, and then we glide. Gliding, licking sternum bone up the wall. And glide it, drape it down. Glide up, eyes, sternum, and lower sternum, and then the eyes. Glide, eyes, sternum. We're still hanging out in our bottom ribs. And just simply bring one hand under shoulder, other hand under shoulder. Wiki, 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 wiki. With the elbows, chicken wing flaps. And then drape sternum, chest, forehead is hovering. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, peel sternum. You're still hanging out in your bottom ribs. Keep your sending your sacrum down and away from you towards your heels. And gently lower. And little curl. And little lower. And one more coming up. Keep it there. Good. So you're still hanging out in the bottom ribs. Shoulders are behind you. There's a smiley face in front of your shoulders and a smiley face behind your shoulders. One hand comes to the forehead, one hand down. Other hand comes to the forehead, other hand down. One hand to forehead and down. One hand to forehead and down. And there's zero movement here in the pelvis. Hand down, hand down. Two more. Hand down, hand. Breathe in, breathe out, drape. Down. Coming all the way up, we peel eyes, sternum, bottom ribs, belly button, pubic bone, thighs, and there we are. Coming round. So to end off with, tuck the toes. We're not going to hang out in the rest position. Elongate your pelvis. So lengthen your book shelf, book balancing. Lengthen it a little longer. And we'll do rolling wave cat curls, which was the Insta post for today. As you curl, rolling through. Unfold, draw back. 2, 3. And roll the pelvis underneath. Roll through the ribs. Come up. And drag it back. So you'll notice I'm not dropping my pelvis here as we roll. Pelvis rolls under. For a split second, as I take that Kodak moment, back of the head, back of the ribs, back of the pelvis are all in line with our diagonal broomstick. And then drag the pelvis back. And one more. Curl. And fold. Lengthen. And drag it all the way back. Walk the hands back. Let's roll through the feet. So some of us may feel not so comfortable doing this. So unless you have pins in your toes, all right, if you have pins in your toes, you're going to just get up onto the balls and the feet and come flat-footed as soon as ASAP in your own time. And the rest of us are going to roll through. And I want you to roll back and go down in this low squat as low as you can go to get your heels down. Even if your heels are lifted. We're going to practice allowing the tissues to lengthen and stretch in their own time. Ribs and belly skin lifted away from your thighs. And then press. Send your sacrum and pelvis forwards and up. As you stand up. Voila, just like that. So, standing now, feeling longer, lengthened, stretched, switched on, filled with strength and possibility in the body, that was a very decent, solid, basic Pilates mat class, incorporating very important concepts from which I've shared with you. Okay, and so we build a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. So I'm actually so thrilled we had this time like this together. But we're not done just yet. So in this standing position, just jiggy your body a little. Give it a little jiggy. Bring it back to the middle. Float the arms all the way up and then swing it out. And inhale. And you bend. So there's a buoyant bounce in those knees. Bounce. And it's an elegant bounce. Just saying, swish, swish. And up one more. Swish, swish. And circle. And it's as though still being suspended from your ear-jaw junction. You have floated back down. Your feet feel grounded. Your body feels supported. Your mind feels strong and looking forward to continued movement possibilities together. Take a breath in and horse it out. Woo! Those are like little fireworks. Woo! And one more. Woo! And thank you for being with me on this Wednesday Wellness. Feel hugged, feel the love. And for those of you that can join me, I will see you on Friday morning at 9 a.m. Ciao!